Happening right now in East Haven. Firefighters, police officers, civil service members, and civilians all gathered right now to salute a piece of 9/11 history. Just yesterday, a New Jersey PATH train that was one of only 2 train cars that survived the terror attacks at the World Trade Center intact arrived here in Connecticut. You see it right here. The cars were protected by a cast iron tunnel when those towers came down. No passengers were found inside of the cars during the excavation. And just moments ago, a parade kicked off at the corner of Hemingway Avenue and River Street en route to the Trolley Museum, where that train will be put on display. News 8's Allie Reed live in East Haven this midday, talking to people who attended that event. Allie.
Good afternoon, Keith. Boy, was this an emotional procession. So many people, I would say a good 400, 500 people lined the streets to watch this PATH car 745, come over to its new home at the Trolley Museum here in East Haven. There were the traditional bagpipes leading it in. The police and fire from both Connecticut and New York helped escort it here. People lining the streets, getting emotional, bringing back memories of what this train represents. Now, so much went into getting this train here. I'm going to call him Peter Rinaldi. Peter, he is a retired engineer with the New York, New Jersey Port Authority. You were incredibly instrumental in getting this here. Tell us about the very first moment you saw the train.
Well, the first time I saw the train was part of an inspection I did back in September of 2001, and there was the train car with several other cars sitting 75 feet below the burning rubble of the World Trade Center. And that's when I had the first thought about actually trying to save 1 or 2 cars for the future, not knowing what would happen.
And you actually have a photo of yourself there on that very day, don't you? Can we zoom in and see this?
This is a picture of that day, and that's me when we were down with the fire department actually going through and exploring and inspecting the station.
And how is it that you were able to get the train in this condition, that it was able to remain intact?
It happened fortuitously to be under an area of the site that the buildings did not collapse on. But during the recovery and removal and search process, a lot of the buildings were being demolished and the other cars got damaged. Fortunately, in late January or so, I saw that these cars were peeking out under the rubble as we excavated down, and that's when I said we could actually save these cars.
How hard was it to excavate it from that area? It was right underneath the World Trade Center.
It was, and the tracks were gone, so we had to actually build a piece of track to pull the cars out from under the rubble above and then bring in cranes. And, you know, they're 60,000 pounds each car, so it was a monumental effort. And a lot of people were dedicated to doing this.
What is it like today to see it here?
It's really heartwarming to see this come full circle now from almost 14 years ago, and to see the car finally find a home. Very warming.
Well, thank you for all of your work in helping to bring this home here to Connecticut. Really appreciate it, Peter.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. And there were no passengers inside that train when they did recover it at the time. This is its new home. It is going to hang out here for a few more months until there is a permanent exhibit built around this at the Trolley Museum here. So you should come out and check it out. It's going to be dedicated here next year, so you can come and participate in this. Now, it will, of course, be 14 years in September since the 9/11 attacks. Since they were able to excavate this PATH train, it's been sitting in an airport hangar at JFK Airport. And again, they didn't do much to it. This is pretty much the way that they found it that day after 9/11. So it's a very special moment here. Senator Richard Blumenthal is here, and he made a comment on how people should take a moment and walk up to the train and touch it and just reflect on all that it symbolizes, all the people that went down to New York that day to help out. Very, very moving day. Reporting live in East Haven, I'm Allie Reed, News 8.